We are live.
We are live. We're live.
We're live.
I believe we're live. Welcome to Bob Talk, 7th edition. Or I don't know how you want to talk about it. It's the 7th Bob Talk. We're excited about tonight and where we're going to go with tonight. I'm going to let the boss lady lead it tonight. I just give her one night of heroism or something.
You're going to give me that?
Yeah,
Aren't you?
tonight I am. So, but enjoy it. Short-lived.
October 5th. I know today's not October 5th. Today's the 6th, which happens to be my sister Rose's birthday. Happy birthday, Rose.
I did say happy birthday to Rose on Facebook.
And I didn't because I knew I was going to do it live tonight.
Okay.
So
I beat you to it then.
So I'm probably not going to tell everyone how old she is, but I will say she's older than me.
Thank God. That way I got the baby.
You did get the baby. So tonight we're going to talk about October 5th, 1995. 25 years ago. Our lives changed for the better. I'll apologize to all of you who have heard this story already, but since this week is the milestone 25th anniversary of Sandry Fire, I'd like to just share the story of Bob and I and how this amazing company got going.
First, I want to apologize because we were going to do a 25th celebration. So we're going to do a 25 and a half year. I don't know if that's in
We're pretty confident we're going to be able to do it in the spring. So
Yeah.
We're going to get rid of this COVID thing and we're all going to get together and have some fun. So
You
look
bet
for that in probably April. What's the difference between 25 and 25.5? Not much. Not much. But I'll give you the condensed version of our story. We're a young family just going through the motions of life with 5 kids and Bob, if you know what I mean. But we were looking for something more. We contemplated, discussed, talked about wanting to do more, be more, have more. We didn't even know what that meant at the time, but it was just kind of there in front of us all the time. Bob was working as a tool and die machinist and volunteering on the Lansing, Iowa Fire Department. The fire service was a huge part of our lives, and obviously still is. It was definitely a passion. Bob's experience in Lansing included one experience that I'll let him share about. But before I do that, I want to ask you to like and react and share our page. And anybody who does that will be put into a drawing. Sherry's all set up over here to randomly select winners. We're going to send you hats tonight.
And we'll talk a little bit more about the significance of the hat here in a little bit.
Yeah, and if you'd like to share a story about your history or how you first got to know anybody or any part of Sandry Fire, we'd love to hear your story. We think we'd like to hear your stories. Some of them will be pretty interesting, I'm sure. So you tell how your purchasing experience went in Lansing.
We just, I've been there in the fire service for a long time and got to a point where we were going to purchase some gear, and we set out some materials that we wanted or thought we wanted or felt was best for us working as firefighters. And when it came in, it was different than what we had suggested to possibly purchase, and didn't understand why or how come until we were told that that'll work for you guys, or that's good enough for you guys, or whatever the response was that's you didn't need that other stuff for whatever reason. And I felt that's the decision of the department, whatever department that is, when it comes to really educating a department, or a department does their research and educates themselves on the materials that are out there. So it really took off from there that I wanted to let the departments have the decision on what they purchase and how they purchase. That's a pretty big part of what we do here at Sandry Fires, is an education part, and give you options to what you may need in your department or what you feel is right. And we certainly want everyone to know what's in your department is what works for your department. And whatever salesman, whomever that may be, shouldn't make the decisions for you. That's a decision for them. And that's really when my gears started turning and asking Mary, hey, should we try this fire equipment sales gig thing? Tool and die, I enjoyed it. I worked for Northern Engraving, which that building is now gone at Lansing. And had some really good friends that I even ran into last weekend when I was back in Lansing, when I was at the Tool and Die. And Tom Baker, my boss, super nice guy. Run into him once in a while at Quick Star in Lansing. It's kind of fun. But it took us in a direction after the decision that I wanted to try and let other departments make their decision and go out there and learn more about fire equipment and what it takes to sell fire equipment, not knowing at the time what that takes.
Learned a
little naive then, still a little naive today, but our heart is so ingrained into the fire service, from not only Mary and I, but to our kids and everybody in the Sandry Fire family and how they feel about the fire service. It's pretty neat to see where it's come in 25 years of the passion of giving the department their choice and what they want and need and use. It's pretty important.
But that little purchasing experience was the spark that we needed. So again, we discussed and contemplated and talked and even took the first steps beginning to sell fire equipment until October 5th, 1995. Bob jumped on a trampoline. So we went from x-rays and a broken back to 5 days in the hospital and a cast from his chest to his hips. Our lives definitely changed. And I knew immediately when he was laying in that hospital bed in the emergency room in Rochester. I remember walking in there and saying to him, our lives are going to change. Tonight, our lives changed. And they did. I'm happy to say that the recovery went well. He spent 9 weeks in a body cast and 4 months in what they call a tortoise shell or turtle shell brace. He was off work for almost 9 months. If that wasn't enough of a change, just having Bob around that much. But that jump on the trampoline and everything that came after was the catalyst to starting Sandry Fire. And now, 25 years later, we're so proud of the business that we've built, the great customers that we serve, the manufacturers we represent, the relationships that we've developed, and the amazing staff that truly believe in serving those who serve our communities. That's the real story of Sandry Fire. That's 25 years. 25 years, Bob.
I mean, if you want to listen to the whole story, go back to Bob Talk.
Number one. We did go into a little more detail.
Yeah.
I thought I'd spare you all those details because there's probably more than you wanted to know at that point. But I mean, it really is. We do literally credit the birth of Sandry Fire to him jumping on a trampoline, because we wouldn't have ever done it. We wouldn't have ever gotten brave enough to do it. I can't really say that makes total sense to me as I look back on it, but I don't know. We were so far down to the bottom, we couldn't go much lower. So we were like, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going.
As we try to live by, the boss lady here and I, feel the fear and do it anyway. You don't know. And at that time, everybody knows a gentleman by the name of, I think it's Garth Brooks. And the song "The
That's
River."
a whole other story.
if you want to really know where your passion is, sit out and look at the sky and listen to the song.
Yeah, it really does. It's been a meaningful song to us for a long time, and yeah, we'll spare you the gory, sappy details of that. But the one thing that I will tell you is, literally the day that we came home from him having his body cast off, we were just pulling into town. Or not, yeah, the cast off and the brace on. We were just pulling into town. Of course, I was driving because he couldn't drive. More on that story later. Anyway, so that's just pulling in front of our house, and that song comes on, and we both just sit there. Neither of us move to get out of the car. And I don't know what it was, but it just caught us. And I think we both kind of looked at each other and went, well, that was a little weird, because it was so true about who we were and where we were going, and it's a river.
Yep.
It's a river.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole. But we'd like to start out by making, we'd like to make a shout out to some of the people and organizations that were there at the start of this journey. Oh yeah, we could be here all night if we wanted to list everybody off. So bear with us because we will not be able to list everybody. We had to select a few that were just really kind of fun stories.
And really made us make that leap to the next level and the next level and the next level, and be a true part of Bob and Mary Sandry and Sandry Fire Supply and our team, from our sales and product specialists to our service technicians. It really kind of all continues to evolve and grow, excitingly grow.
So shout out to,
We got the first product really was TNT Rescue Systems in Asherton, Wisconsin. Tom and Amy Blanton, wonderful people up there. They do a great job with rescue tools. All the tools work out there in the industry, but there probably is no better people than Tom and Amy Blanton and TNT Rescue Systems and what they do for their distributors. But they really took a chance on me way back in 1996 to say, hey, come aboard and we'll see what we can do in Iowa with this young kid trying to sell rescue tools that really never had any. At that time, back then, there was one rescue tool system in Alameda County up there in northeast Iowa, and that was in Waukon, the county seat. Back then, we had one set of tools, and that was those guys. So we needed to cut somebody out of a car, whatever it was calling Waukon. And gosh, today now, everybody in the world almost has a set of rescue tools in their department. But
which is great.
yeah, absolutely, serving those people that in their communities that they do. So TNT was the benchmark, the beginning,
It definitely
the product
was.
line that
We would not be where we are now if we didn't start with TNT. It was a product that Bob was and is truly passionate about. He's probably cut more cars than most people. I don't know who else it could be. But that's what he likes to do. And if anybody's ever taken one of Bob's classes, put a little message on there that you were one of his victims, or I don't know, however you want to word it, whatever your experience was with him as an instructor.
I still do that today. I was in Westville, Illinois 2 weeks ago teaching a class. Center Point this weekend teaching a class. A couple weeks from now in Masonville, Iowa, teaching a class. Mobile, Iowa, teaching a class.
There's just not enough weekends, is there?
There is not enough weekends, and because I still enjoy it. I still love doing that. I got great product specialists that like to have me out helping them do demos and presentations for rescue tools. So again, the TNT Rescue Systems line and Tom and Amy Blanton continue to be a big part of Bob and Mary Sandry. So it's still a lot of fun. There's some exciting news coming too with Sandry Fire, but we'll share that for maybe Bob Talk number 8.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh, geez. Wow. That might be in a different place.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
We'll talk about that later. So,
our next shout out goes to New Albin Savings Bank. Oh my gosh. This little small town bank took such a big chance on us. And they gave us that loan for that first set of hydraulic tools.
Jake Imhoff out there.
Yeah.
I certainly want, hopefully somebody up in Northeast Iowa can get a shout out to Jake, and he can watch this tomorrow sitting at his desk at the bank. I hope he's still there. If not, he moved on. I don't know. I should stop.
No, I think he's still there.
I hope he's still there. But they did. They gave us a loan, and Mary, as we're sitting there, says to Jake, the worst thing that can happen is you get the tools back and donate them to New Albin if we don't make it. And I laughed today to think of that.
I wonder how seriously he took that statement. I wonder if he really thought that they'd end up with a set of tools in New Albin. I don't know what his. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe I was afraid to really ask him.
Yeah. Jake, just let us sign the paperwork and we'll make it happen. And he did. Unbelievably, he did. So New Albin Savings Bank was a huge part of, giving us an opportunity with funding to get me going with rescue tools and really making that Sandry Fire dream almost a reality. I still don't think it's reality. I still pinch myself. So
we do. We still can't believe it. I mean, 25 years. Who'd have thought? I mean,
it's still fun. It really
25 years and we're still together.
As you see me flipping pages, she's got a script for me.
I got notes for him tonight. So he doesn't forget who to say and in the right order.
Wow, right order. Yikes. So
Cheryl's next.
is Cheryl,
Cheryl's next.
Cheryl, if there's anybody up in Cheryl, Iowa, first I wanted to give a
Hi, Aunt Rita.
I was going to give a shout out to Rita. Mary beat me to it. Rita Heffelmeyer, super lady. But Cheryl Fire Department was actually the first set of rescue tools that I ever sold in the state of Iowa, and they have a set of our new battery operated rescue tools in Cheryl now also. So we appreciate that evolution of going from what we call conventional hydraulics to battery operated hydraulics. So still part of the Sandry Fire family and the TNT family, along with the other product lines that we sell. They're absolutely great customers, and the chief Nick up there is super nice gentleman, and we just really appreciate those folks up there.
They've been a good steady customer for a long time. Kind of fun.
Long time. Thanks to Jack and Rita.
Thanks to Jack and Rita Heffelmeyer. I'm sure they get all the credit.
Get all the credit. But no, big part of us is Cheryl, and so thank you, Cheryl.
Okay, next is Guttenberg Fire Department, and if anybody from Guttenberg, I don't know, you maybe know this story.
And at this point, I got to throw a shout out to Daryl Roush, because he did put a Facebook message in our 25 years of Sandry Fire, who I believe, I think he was in Monroe, Wisconsin. Now I'm not sure where he's at, but well,
Bob's trying to do two things at once.
I was, but
okay, so I'll talk about Guttenberg. You check to see who's sending you a message. But a few days after Bob was released from the hospital with his broken back in his body cast, he was scheduled to be at Guttenberg Fire Department to introduce himself and talk about fire equipment. But because he was in that body cast, he was not able to drive. So my mom took the kids that night, and I became his driver. One of many nights I probably drove your butt around, but that's
wasn't supposed to drive.
But we had a plan. Yeah, you weren't supposed to be driving. But we had a plan. I was going to drop him off or pull up in front of the fire station. He was going to go in. I was going to walk just around the corner down the street, just a little ways to the grocery store.
5 blocks.
And I was going to trust him to drive that far to meet me and pick me up. That's what I was going to do. So off I went. I loaded up my cart. You know, it had been a chaotic time. Bob had been in the hospital. I mean, our lives were torn apart. We were upside down. There was 4 kids at home. I honestly was looking forward to the time alone, even if it meant being in the grocery store. It's kind of like a vacation to me at that point. And we obviously needed some groceries because we just not had any. So I was in no hurry. I just went through my list, added everything that I needed in my cart, walked up and down the aisles. I had that cart so darn full. But then I started to worry because Bob hadn't gotten there yet. And I'd been in the store quite a while. And I went up to the checkout and I told them what was going on, because I thought, they're going to wonder who this crazy woman is who's wandering the grocery store for hours. And so, once I explained it to them, they all, were like, oh, okay, no big deal. So I continue to load my cart, overload my cart. My cart is as full as I can get it, and there's still no Bob. And it's closing time. So I go back down the aisles and I put everything back on the shelves. And with my head hung low, I walked out the door and back to the fire station.
Back to the car.
Back to the car. I sat in the car and I waited and I waited. I was pretty darn patient. I don't even think I got mad. At that point, I was pretty damn hungry, but I don't think I was mad. I don't think I could be mad at him at that point. But
the guys at Guttenberg probably fed me.
The guy, they probably did. And thank you to the Guttenberg Fire Department for making a connection with Bob that night, and the long history that we've had with you since. I don't know what to say. I can't walk into that grocery store. I know that they would never see me and know who I was, but I am still to this day, like, I am embarrassed by, who is this crazy woman? And if any of you know Bob, I'm sure you understand that this story is so true. And I don't think I ever trusted him on a timeline after that, ever again. If I dropped him off at a fire station, I just knew I was there for a long time. And I suppose I should probably make a really big shout out to my mother and my dad, who were so helpful in taking the kids at that time of our lives when we needed it. I don't know how we functioned through that part, but we did. But we couldn't have done it without all of that support. Anyway, that's my Gothenburg Fire Department story. And yeah.
And as we took on rescue tools, trying to figure out how to get out there, I kind of somehow stumbled across Decorah, Iowa, right up there in Northeast Iowa. They were hosting an extrication class. And so I brought my tools in, the TNT tools that I just purchased, that are mine. And I'm trying to be cautious about what do I do with them, and got into Decorah with the tools during their class, and all of the folks there excited about using these new rescue tools that Bob brought in, and let's break them, let's try them, let's do whatever we can with them. And they certainly put my patience to a test, because I'm thinking, okay, I don't really know a whole lot about extrication and what to do with these rescue tools other than sell them. I'm supposed to go out and sell them. And so kind of got the bug once I was at that Decorah class. So I appreciate and a shout out to the guys at Decorah, Mike Ashbacker up there at that time. I don't know back in the late 90s, 96, if Mike was chief at that time. It's been so long ago that Mike's probably, oh yeah, I was chief and still chief. And he does a great job up there with all the guys in Decorah, with the city council and his rule board. But left Decorah kind of excited about what you can do with rescue tools, and all this stuff about tearing doors off and roofs off and flipping dashes up, and got asked by the guys that were teaching the class to come teach with them at Iowa Falls. And Kurt Rice, everybody knows him as Cheese and Rice. Kurt Rice at Iowa Falls was hosting the class, and so I got in there. Kevin Deaton down at Huxley. I laugh at Kevin Deaton, still friends today. Haven't seen him in a while. But him and I got to bunk together in a room, and I pulled the sheets up over me and slept like this. Didn't move all night. Kevin's looking at me to wonder if I'm even alive. I think he still likes to tell that story about Iowa Falls' first instruction class together, doing extrication, and the experience of bunking with Bob, and what does that mean, and how does that even
that
work?
story? So, I won't touch.
Yeah, we won't touch that one. So Kevin and I are still friends today. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe bunking together was our friendship. I don't know. But super nice gentleman.
And I'll move on to a shout out to the Small Business Development Center of Iowa, who helped us work through that first business plan. As painful as that process was, it was very valuable, and we thank you very much for all of your support. And SCORE, the Service Corps of Retired Executives, who worked with us up in Northeast Iowa, a group of retired businessmen who came in and gave us some advice and some ideas and some suggestions. And really, I think we just had a good time just chatting with each other. It was just a good group. And then they honored us as SCORE Client of the Year that year. And I don't remember, we really need to look back, because in my speech that I had to give that night, I remember explaining why Bob wasn't there.
I think
you were traveling somewhere, and I don't remember where.
I want to know, maybe my first trip to South Africa. Here again, TNT sent me all over the world. Tom and Amy went and sent me to South Africa twice, Australia, England a couple times, Canada many times, to help their distributors to help sell their product and service their product around the world. And I was the guy that was blessed to go do that with that product line, and got to travel the world with those folks. I think that's when we were SCORE Clients of the Year.
I don't remember. But I can't remember this.
Just getting some old landmarks that were just amazing that we probably should keep better track of. That I should probably hire a historian to keep track of all of this for us. Yeah. But one of the departments that, again, in the beginning, that we were trying to get Sandry Fire going was the wonderful city of Luena, small metropolis up there in Clayton County, that I remember walking in there and just in a polo shirt, just kind of like what I have on tonight, and a pair of blue jeans, nothing fancy. And the guys were sitting in their meeting and having a meeting, and I went in and introduced myself and got joking around, and they said, Bob, if you ever come into our fire station with a suit and tie on trying to sell us something, we're going to kick you out. So that's one of the things I try to tell even my people. You don't have to dress up to be the part. Be the part of one of the guys or gals in that station, because it is a brother and sisterhood that is unlike any other. That you can really blend in with them and be part of that. But I always remember that Alwena is never walk into their fire station with a suit and tie on to try and sell them something. It's
I don't know that he ever
something
owned a suit and tie, but maybe
Yeah.
funerals, but that's
Yeah.
it. And I, although I'm reluctant to do it because I have such a great team of employees, I do have to make a shout out to Mr. Joel Sandry. He's our-
cousin Joel.
well, yeah, he is not Bob's brother. He is
Not
not
my
Bob's son.
But
He is Bob's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a little confusion over that. Actually, a lot of confusion about that over the years. And he's our longest running employee. He's been with us for 18 years. And we give him a really hard time around here.
most days, yes.
We sometimes don't make things easy on him, and that's okay because he kind of asked for it. But I really want to thank him for being a part of this whole journey. He's one of those people who just remembers things. I probably should have had him here to remember these dates because he might have remembered them. But he just has an amazing memory, and he just an aptitude for the products and the product numbers and the details and the specs and that stuff that goes way over my head that I just go, I have Joel to help me with that. So thank you, Joel. We appreciate you being with us for this long, and we look forward to many, many more years to come.
And we could shout out to all of our product specialists, to our service guys, my guys, a few of my guys have been offered jobs at other places, other fire equipment sales companies, and haven't left us. That's amazing. So thank you, folks. And we got a service tech, Rick, I'll shout out to him, left us and came back. Realized we're pretty tight knit family, and we want everybody to feel that good about being around Bob and Mary and Sandry Fire and everything we do. We are a family. Not only our immediate family with our kids and our grandkids now, but our employees are not our employees; they're family. There
are so many people that we should be thanking and honoring for their support tonight, but like I said, we can't do it all.
Enough time.
Getting started in this business was a challenge, and we needed each and every one of you. So thank you. Anybody else?
Okay. No.
All right.
We could go on and list.
Yeah, we don't want to be on here all night. So
yeah, we want to get through a few little highlights that we put together.
Highlights of the last 25 years. It was the year 2000 that we took on MSA as our next major product line. It was a huge step, a huge monetary investment, a huge investment of resources and time. And
I'll give a shout out to the retired guy, Mr. John Rishardi, coming to our house and sitting at our kitchen table. Not even a shingle, as he would say. You need a shingle. John Rishardi would say, "You need a shingle. You need a shingle." Kept on and kept on and kept on, but he took the chance, back in 2000 and said, "Oh, you just need this little bit of money and you can run into MSA." And then pretty soon it was this much money, and her and I are freaking out going, how do we do that? But there again, we felt the fear and we did it anyway. And that MSA product line, like TNT, has been just a staple for us that I couldn't thank MSA enough, with John Rishardi, who's now retired. Tom Vetras, who's coming up here at the end of the year, going to retire, to kind of his replacement, or I guess Rishardi's replacement, Dwayne Flowers, right now has been awesome. Super great guy. We have some good people underneath them, with John Caparis and Stuart Becker and Steve Earle.
You're going to miss somebody.
No, I'm not. Shay and Chris Mulker. So MSA is phenomenal. There's not a better company other than the other one we list here with TNT that I'd want to be part of is MSA, and just absolutely amazing company.
And I don't know, for those of you who maybe aren't in the fire service and you're listening to us anyway, MSA is SCBAs, or self-contained breathing apparatus. Those masks with the tanks. That's their main product line.
That's the main product line.
Gas meters, thermal imaging, helmets. I mean, MSA has quite a range of products, but it has been tremendous for us. It was a very wise choice. scary. It was a big investment at the time, but no regrets whatsoever.
No.
2002?
2002 came around. TNT again jumps out at us and wants us to take on Illinois. This Iowa boy, he moved to Illinois. I think I can stay in Iowa and still service Illinois. So they kind of agreed on that, but we had to move. You can't get from Northeast Iowa, you can't get anywhere. It's just impossible.
Well, you can get to Minnesota and Wisconsin,
Yeah,
but
go across
not
the bridge or
Illinois.
go through New Albany again.
And really not even anywhere in Iowa.
So no. So in 2002, we knew we were going to move, and we didn't know where. We thought the Quad Cities. I have, two uncles, Uncle Jim and Uncle Bill down here with some cousins down here. Obviously, Joel being one of them from the Quad Cities. But moved down. Laura, our oldest one, kind of looked on the map and put her finger on, beep, let's move to DeWitt.
Still can't believe that. That was weird.
We looked around, found a house in DeWitt, and in April, I think it was, or May.
Yeah, we moved in June. June 2nd.
Yeah, after we put 40 gallons of paint or 50 gallons of paint
we
60 gallons of
the
paint.
house that we moved into was interesting. And we had to do a lot of work. But it served us because I wanted to run the company from our home while I was helping my 5 children transition to a new town and a new school and the whole thing. So, I don't know if it was the right thing to do or not, but it worked for us and no regrets, none whatsoever.
Yep. Even here, I kind of had a little bit of a hiatus, I guess I'll say, from the fire service because I came down here in April and kind of started living in the house and cleaning it up, and the guys in DeWitt here kind of prodded me a little bit to get on the department down here, but I wanted to get my family down here. And in August, I believe it was August, maybe September of 2002.
Just a few months. It didn't hurt.
Yeah, it didn't take long. And I was back in it and really enjoyed the DeWitt Fire Department and still do today. Served as chief for 6 years and now just one of the boys again. But super great group of people serving DeWitt.
It really took Bob about 3 months to figure out that fire trucks can be a different color other than red.
Yes.
He really thought there must be something wrong.
It
took a while.
On you. Okay, DeWitt guys, it grows on you. So.
Okay, so 2004, we purchased and renovated an old grocery store.
For the people around DeWitt that's listening, the old Scaffington
grocery store.
So yeah,
I think
tearing that apart.
I think that's when we knew we were serious. When we started working on that building,
Mr. Rishardi got us into a shingle.
we were building Mr. Rishardi's shingle, and we gave him a hard time about that for a long time. But it's true. This is our shingle. Here we are.
And anybody, please, if you haven't visited our place here in DeWitt, please. I think I contacts on my phone. I think I have close to 1,900 contacts. Call me and we'll come up here to the office and open it up and have you walk through it. We're pretty proud of it and where it is and what has transitioned through from a grocery store to our office area and our warehouse area. It's pretty amazing.
It's incredible. Literally, it fits us. It works for us.
Then in 2015, we're still evolving here. 2015, MSA come out with the G1 SCBA. Absolutely took the fire service over. And still today is taking the fire service over. We don't believe there's another manufacturer out there that even competes in the SCBA world. They all work, they all breathe air, they all meet the standard, but the G1 separates itself from anything in self-contained breathing apparatus. Again, it comes back to MSA and one of the leaders in the industry with safety appliances and what they do for safety. But the G1 was a home run, and we're absolutely blessed to have them on board with us, continuing 20 years later to offer the G1 to the fire services is absolutely phenomenal. So phenomenal.
If anybody has any questions for us about our history, about any of this, about anything about us, whatever,
please.
post it.
Post it. Sherry's here.
Sherry's here.
In the background.
If you have any stories about how you met Sandry Fire, how you got to know us, and I hope they're nice things. No, actually they are. It's all good. Post them in there. We want to hear your stories. 2017, we purchased Fire Guard, or at least the fire service side of Fire Guard, out of Omaha, Nebraska. It took us to a whole new level and brought along some great employees and some really wonderful customers. it was, again, a good choice. It's the right thing to do. Very good fit for us in so many ways. It was the right thing to do at the time.
It was, absolutely was. And to bring their three employees over to our side of Sandry Fire, um, they fit right in. There was not a skip missed.
Yeah.
It was.
It really
just,
did. It was smooth. At least, I guess
we seen
maybe
anyway.
maybe that's what I'll challenge one of you Nebraska customers to tell us that it was different than that. But yeah, it's
good.
been a good experience. So I don't know. Tell us. I'm curious now.
Or our wonderful product specialists out there, Brad. And
No, we're not
Chris
listening to them.
And Jerry, what you think? It's been a lot of fun, and it continues. Again, I say I still enjoy it. I still have fun with it.
He does.
It's
I do
amazing to be 55.
And I love the transitions that are happening now. It's just a lot of fun to see as Bob and I, watch this company grow and more people come underneath us to help support this and build this up. It's just really fun to watch. Anyway, 2018. After a tremendous 2017 year, we decided to treat our team to a trip to Mexico. We had an amazing time.
And their spouses.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And with employees who live and work so far apart from one another, it was a great way to bring them all together in one place to really get to know each other and have a good time.
Yep.
But we had such a good time that it's become an annual event. But we can't think of any better way to say thank you to this group of wonderful people. We cannot thank them enough for being part of this journey with us. And I'm loving every minute of that.
It is. It's difficult to think that you're going to take 28, 30, 35, 40. Almost 40 people out on a trip to Mexico. And get along, do things together. We really tell them, if there's something you want to do, go do it. We don't have to do it together. But we all end up together.
It's a lot of fun.
It's amazing that the people that we have here at Sandry Fire, it's just a wonderful, tremendous family.
And every year as we get to start planning the trip, I have more and more people who would like to come to work for us. So, and I have some children who like to join us once in a while too. So we have some children. Yeah.
And they all, it's just amazing that they can all get along and share a cocktail in the evening and breakfast in the morning. It's amazing that
sometimes we don't all make it to breakfast every morning.
Some mornings get kind of difficult, but that's about vacation. That's about getting away. That's about our employees and their customers understanding that they need to get away too. They need some time to decompress and enjoy life a little bit.
We ask a lot of these
work
people.
hard.
They do work hard. They put in long days and long weeks,
amazing.
And yeah. And I don't know. I can't say enough about them. So I just won't even start.
So then we continue to kind of say we grow and we grow and we grow, and for a couple of years I'd prod at Mary a little bit. Let's put a building up. Let's add on to this building. Let's put a building up, and we looked at adding on, and it made more sense to build another building. So in 2020, we put a second building up here at 618, which I call it 618 and a half. We put a new building up that it's going to be beautiful. We really got the shell up, and then myself and Dennis Eads, I consider him a pretty close friend, almost family, because he spends so much time up here. But he was a Davenport firefighter, and he's just an absolute tremendous gentleman. I love having him around. But him and I kind of worked on our conference room and made a big conference room. We're sitting in our original conference room. You don't see much of it, but it's twice the size of this conference room, a little over twice the size of this conference room. That's just where Sandry Fire's gone as far as people.
It got too small. We were having sales meetings, and we were like,
we're elbow to elbow to elbow.
Yeah, it was getting a little tight, a little COVID tight.
Yeah. So we did get the building up. We did get the conference room up on the second floor. It's beautiful up there. Mary had some wonderful ideas with Mr. Kevin Jansen, our local electrician.
Blame him too.
We'll throw Kevin under the bus, and hopefully Kevin's watching, or Jane. Those folks just went through kind of a little anniversary with their business too, Jansen Electric here in DeWitt, Iowa. But Kevin's done an awful lot over there, and a tremendous job. Enjoy having him around. But his company with the electric Jansen Electric has been phenomenal and a big part of that. And we'd love to show off the conference room. Maybe we'll do one.
We'll have one of them
Bob
up there as
Talks
soon
up
as,
there.
well, yeah,
And we get the roof back on.
because
So-
yeah, that's the next thing is
Was it?
once the building
Oh,
was
yeah,
finished,
that's right.
then, the ratio hit.
Dorito.
And that beautiful new building had not enough
2/3.
roof anymore.
2/3 of the roof on the east side went across the street, across 6th
Across the
Avenue.
main street in town and kind of just piled up in a mangled mess of tin.
We were out on the boys that do it. We were out on many calls that afternoon, that Monday afternoon, and a couple of them come up to me as I'm running the engine at a house fire and say, "Hey, do you know your roof of your new building blew off?" I'm like, "Well, I guess it did." Whatever, not knowing what it was until I got back from the call and went by here. Went, yep.
Yep,
It
and I was
sure
stuck at
did.
home because I was working from home that day, and my car was in the garage, and the tree was on the garage, so I couldn't get out. So
Well,
I
did we
was,
lose a building at San Rui Fire? Yep. Did we put a tree in through the roof of our garage? It's Bob and Mary's residence. Yep.
yep,
So I
was
will
just a
say
good day.
this week, but that's been what now? 5 weeks, 4 weeks,
I don't know,
whatever that's
more
been.
than that.
We'll have a roof up come Friday over the shop, the new building, back over the new building, and our house roof will be completely closed up by Friday. So
And
we're
we will
on the
have
roof
cleaned
again.
up and ground up 26 trees.
6 trees out at our house. That's just absolutely tremendous. But they'll be back for our people, the San Rui Fire family that got to spend a little time out there in June. It was, and seeing all the trees. Next spring, Mary and I are going to plant some more trees out there.
No, next spring, we're gonna have our sales meeting at our house and we're all gonna plant trees.
That's a good idea. I'll dig holes
There we go.
and plant trees. So
I think we can call the 25 years of San Rui Fire Supply a big success.
thank you to all our customers. That's
Yes,
such a huge
thank you
part.
to anybody out there who supported us in any way. And sometimes it was just to be there to listen to us as we lost it on one subject matter or the other with this, or just being there. It's been awesome. I don't know how we could have gotten through this without so many good people.
So,
And as new opportunities come and San Rui Fire continues to grow, we look forward to another 25 years.
50. I won't see them. Yeah, I'm gonna live to 105. When I turned 50, I said I was halfway to dead, but I'm 55 now, so maybe I'll go to 110. Don't know, but like I said, it's
I don't
still a
think
lot
he's
of
ever
fun.
leaving, so I think you're stuck with
It's
him for a while.
enjoyable. So
I might
hopefully-
retire, but I don't know that he ever
Yeah.
will.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I may slow down a little bit. Enjoy a little bit of.
Well, for
Thanks.
those of you who liked or shared or commented or whatever, we'll randomly select some and make contact with you and get you some hats. Is there anybody come up with any good questions? No,
No questions out there
no
tonight.
good questions.
Um,
They'll come up with questions when they're
they'll
watching it.
they'll
later,
watch it
but-
over, and please, you watch it tomorrow. If you're watching tomorrow, or if you're watching next week, and you want to put something out there on our Facebook page, please do. We enjoy all the comments, good, bad, indifferent. We don't like Bob. I don't know.
I say that.
Mary says that all the time.
I've-
They fire me a lot. too.
I have fired him so many times. I cannot tell you. He keeps coming back. I don't know.
So I don't know how
I
long
think
we've
that's
been
it.
tonight.
It's been
but,
45 minutes already. We're
wow.
good.
So yeah, that's our average.
That's all of us. I think that's perfect.
Yep.
I'm really excited about where we've come from, proud of where we've come from. I'm excited about where we're going. And I'm looking forward to all the new people that might be involved in where we're going moving forward and adding more people to this team and maybe taking more people to Mexico.
Watch
That
Bob
number just
talk in
keeps getting
November.
bigger and it's like, oh,
Watch Bob talk in November.
Bob
It'll
thinks
be
there'll be
exciting.
big announcements
Yep.
for Bob Talk in November. So pay attention.
Yep. Join us because you never know where we might be, where I might be. I should say me. I know where Mary might be there too. We'll see. But just tidbits out there to look forward
Teasers.
to.
That's what you call a teaser. Big things are coming in November.
Like, react, share, whatever.
Thanks, everybody.
Say hi. So thank you. Good night.